Everyone knows Tony Robbins as a man with the booming voice, the energy, the firewalks, the packed arenas. He's helped millions move nations, transform lives. But behind every powerful word he speaks, there is something he rarely tells you. The real battle is not in front of thousands. It's in silence. It's in the mornings when no one claps. It's in the nights when doubt creeps in and everything feels like too much. It's in the moments when even the most powerful minds ask themselves, am I enough? This is a fight Tony Robbins knows, and it's the one he doesn't talk about on stage. Because it's not about motivation. It's about war. The war inside. The truth is, we all want to win. We all want to rise. But no one prepares us for the cost. No one tells you that the higher you climb, the lonelier it gets. That the more you grow, the more you'll have to leave behind. And that the biggest battles you'll face won't be with the world, but with a voice inside your own head. That voice that whispers, you're not good enough. You're too late. You'll fail like last time. Tony faced that voice. And if you're human, you do too. But here's the truth no one markets. Success doesn't eliminate fear. It forces you to meet it every single day. And strength? It isn't found in screaming louder. It's found in staying steady when everything shakes. It's found in doing the work when no one sees it. Tony's real gift is not his charisma. It's his refusal to let the pain define him. You see, he was born in chaos. Abuse, poverty, a mother who hit him, a childhood that tried to break him. But instead of breaking, he built something. That's the lesson. He doesn't always say outright that your past isn't your prison. It's your forge, and your mind is the battlefield. You think people who change the world are fearless? No, they're the ones who felt fear and moved anyway, who felt doubt and acted anyway, who felt broken and built anyway. This is the real work. The grind no one praises, the pain no one posts, the choices no one celebrates. Because success isn't found in stages or spotlights. It's built in silence. So, if you're waking up today with heaviness in your chest, if you're doubting whether you can keep going, let me tell you the part of Tony Robbins' truth that's rarely heard. You are not behind. You are becoming. And the fact that you're still here, still standing, still trying, that's not weakness. That's fire. And that fire, that's the real power. There's a truth you learn on the path to greatness that no book, no seminar, and no mentor can teach you until you feel in your bones. Becoming someone greater requires killing who you were. And that death is not pretty. It doesn't come with applause. It comes with grief. You'll grieve the parts of you that used to settle for less. You'll grieve the comfort of being average. You'll grieve the version of yourself that never had to carry this much weight. Because when you level up, you lose things. People, places, identities. But that's the price of real growth. Tony Robbins didn't become Tony Robbins by accident. He became who he is because he refused to remain who he was. He burned the bridge back to his excuses. He walked away from victimhood and never looked back. But no one tells you how hard that really is. To look at your life and say, this stops with me. To take responsibility not just for your choices, but for your thoughts. To look at your trauma and say, this will not define me. To stand alone when the world doesn't believe in you yet. That's where most people quit. Because change demands pain. Not just external, but internal. You have to face the stories you told yourself, the lies you believed, the patterns you repeated. Tony often says, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. But he also knows that decisions hurt. The decision to stop being a victim. The decision to take control. The decision to outgrow people you love. The decision to work harder, longer, quieter, because the world isn't watching yet. The transformation doesn't happen when it feels good. It happens when it hurts. And in that process, something shifts inside you. You begin to see that pain wasn't there to break you. It was there to burn away the lie that you were weak. You realize that resilience is not a gift. It's built in dark places, in lonely nights, in hard conversations with yourself. And slowly, you stop asking for less pain. You start asking for more strength. That's the Robbins mindset. It's not just motivation. It's the choice to rise again and again without needing anyone to see it. So don't chase ease. Chase evolution. Let the world sleep while you build. Let others scroll while you train. Let them judge while you grow. Because the pain you feel now is a path to the power you'll carry forever. You see people like Tony Robbins and think, he was made for this. He was born different. But that's the lie we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility. Nobody is born unstoppable. They become it. Tony wasn't born with confidence. He built it in the silence of rejection. He wasn't born with power. He earned it through relentless repetition. And he wasn't born fearless. He simply learned that fear can't stop movement, only delay it. The idea that people are just gifted is comforting because if they were born for it, we don't have to try. But if they build it, then so can we. And that means the responsibility is ours. Tony didn't come from wealth. He came from pain, from a home with no food, from nights where the sound of violence was louder than hope. He didn't learn abundance from privilege. He learned it from hunger. That's why when he speaks, it hits different, because it's not theory. It's survival. And now you are standing in your own storm, with your own pain, your own chaos. And maybe you think you need a way out. But what you really need is to go deeper into yourself, into the work, into the fire. Because the breakthrough isn't outside of you. It's buried beneath everything you've been avoiding. The story you keep telling yourself. The habits you won't break. The conversations you refuse to have. That's where your freedom lives. And until you face it, no amount of hype will save you. Tony found his voice not by being loud, but by refusing to be silent anymore. He became powerful not because he avoided pain, but because he embraced it and transformed it. This isn't about shouting affirmations into the mirror. This is about waking up and choosing to fight for your future, even when your past is pulling you backwards. You weren't born weak. You were just taught to believe you were. You were conditioned to play small, to wait your turn, to seek permission. But now you know better. Now you know this world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're willing to fight for. So fight. Fight for your peace. Fight for your future. Fight for your identity. Not with rage, but with relentless consistency. Because just like Tony, you're not building a life. You're building a self. At some point in your journey, something shifts. Not on the outside, but within. You stop chasing validation, and you start chasing meaning. You stop needing motivation, and you start moving from conviction. And that's the awakening. That moment when you finally understand. No one's coming. And that's the greatest gift life will ever give you. Because now everything is on you. And that's not a burden, it's power. You stop waiting to feel ready. You stop blaming your past. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You become the thing you always looked for. The protector, the leader, the force. That's what happened to Tony Robbins. He didn't become powerful because someone gave him permission. He became powerful the day he decided to stop asking. He stood in front of his pain and said, I'll carry this. I'll build with this. I'll use this. And now it's your turn. No more excuses. No more stories about why you can't. No more hiding behind circumstances. You're not too broken. You're not too late. You're not too small. You're just one decision away. That's the truth no one tells you. You don't need more time. You need more truth. You don't need the perfect plan. You need brutal honesty. You don't need someone to fix you. You need to choose who you want to become and commit to it so deeply that every part of you starts aligning with it. This is not a movie. There is no script. You are the writer now, and the story is unfolding in every thought you allow, every step you take, every battle you choose not to run from, because you've seen what happens when you stay silent. You felt what it's like to play small, and now you're done with that version of yourself. You're not here to survive. You're here to create, to build, to impact, and you don't need the world to see it yet. You just need to see it in yourself first. Once you do, the world has no choice but to catch up. So rise, not because someone told you to, but because there's something inside you that refuses to stay down anymore. This is the awakening, not the end of your pain, but the beginning of your power. There comes a moment where you realize you're no longer the same. You don't react like you used to. You don't break like you used to. You don't wait, hesitate, or beg like you used to, because something inside you has changed, and that something is everything. You become the one who doesn't quit. You become the one who keeps showing up. You become the one who doesn't need the world to believe in them, because you finally believe in yourself. And that's where the real shift happens. Not when people start to clap. Not when the money comes. Not when the world takes notice. But when you look in the mirror and no longer see a version of yourself that needs to be rescued, because you already did the rescuing. That's what Tony Robbins did. And it's what you're doing now. He didn't rise because everything went right. He rose because he stopped running. He turned pain into purpose, fear into fuel, and doubt into domination. Now it's your turn to not just talk about change, but to live it, to breathe it, to become it. This journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming you without the masks, without the fear, without the limits others placed on you. And the truth is, you're not waiting for your breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. You're not chasing greatness. You're revealing it with every step, every tear, every hard decision no one claps for. You're building a life that's not dependent on luck or approval or comfort, but on courage, on grit, on unshakable belief. So when the doubts come, and they will, you'll stand. When the fear whispers, you'll walk. And when the world tries to shrink you, you'll expand, because now you know the truth. This was never about being perfect. It was about being real, being raw, being willing. And that willingness is rare. It's sacred. It's yours. You are not finished. You are forged. You are not broken. You are building. And you are not waiting. You're becoming.